little something about myself. I have pursued electronics engineering from DJ Sangvi, and I'm currently pursuing 4 MBA from NMIMS Mumbai. Basically 3 years into engineering, and I realized that coding was not my cup of tea, and I decided to switch into the non-technical domain, mainly finance. So by the third year, I had already joined Endeavor, and everything was fine. There was juggling between projects, CAT classes, and engineering colleges, and engineering college study until lockdown happened, and then I was completely disoriented for pretty some amount of time. And remaining focused in online mode of teaching was very difficult. So every day you have to reinforce this fact that you are here to do something. What is your target? Where are you going? And just monitor, like, what are you even doing in the entire day. So then you have to overcome every distraction that is thrown at you. And then last year in July, I sat for my placement and I got a very good job. And the CTC was also pretty decent, and I was completely kind of disoriented again that whether I should take up the job or whether I should continue with my preparation. So I fell into this trap, and I gave up on my preparation from July to September. But then I reconsidered this. I had a long discussion with my family, with teachers from Endeavor, and from a lot of people around me, and then I finally decided that no, MBA at this point of time in my career was important, and I could not afford to lose these years in getting job X. So I resumed preparation in September for both NMAT and SNAP. So by this time I realized that CAT was probably out of reach, because I had a lot of gap in the preparation, which was probably not possible to cover. But then nevertheless, it is never too late to get up and decide that okay, this is my goal and I want to achieve it. So I fixed my target on both SNAP and NMAT and pursued it religiously. So I think the most critical advice that I would like to give you is follow the Endeavor mock schedule. Follow it religiously. I don't remember missing a single mock of both NMAT and SNAP from September and August onwards. So follow all mocks religiously and keep monitoring your scores. If not in an Excel file, at least keep monitoring your strength in all the sections and monitor your progress that you are making with each mock. And then a CAT happened. So I was in the slot 2, and CAT obviously fell out of reach. My percentile was horrible. And then NMAT first attempt happened. It did not go too well. So I scored low on quant in the NMAT first attempt, and I was pretty dissatisfied with the whole attempt, first attempt. And then I thought that okay, let's rework on this. Then SNAP happened. That also did not go too well. And then what I recommend to everyone for giving NMAT is analyze that whole window that NM gives you and strategically place all your attempts. So what I did was that I placed a lot of days in between my first and second attempt, so that gave me a window to rework on whatever went wrong in the first attempt. So yes, so second attempt, it was better than the first. I got that balance between the sections that I wanted. Then I gave the third attempt, and finally I scored 254. And then I felt satisfied that okay, this is something that I can pursue. Then started the preparation for WAT and PI for NM. So a lot of current affairs reading, a lot of confidence that you need to have in pursuing the panel, that why MBA at this stage in your life. And especially for engineers who need to justify this at almost all points, that why MBA, why MBA, why MBA. So make sure you have a very realistic and a genuine answer for this. Learn to handle pressure. The stakes are high for some of us. For me, for example, I did not have any backup. Before my NMAT third attempt, I had a job, but I did not was not keen on pursuing it. I had no CAT, no SNAP, nothing. So yeah, if ability to handle that pressure at that point of time is everything. And for freshers, I'll recommend that it is not just important to clear the minimum mark, but have a very, very good score which is well beyond the cutoff, because NMAT score has a 70% weightage in the final selection score that you will have. So make sure that you have a very good score so that you are able to beat the WorkX people at this juncture. Also, speaking about quant, I'd like to add the calculation bit, which is very, very important. So the material that Endeavour gives pertaining to calculation, all those fractions, percentages, please do it. That even helps in analyzing all the graph questions that are actually easy and just require quick calculation. So that is a must. Do not ignore the logic starter module. If someone of you all have taken it casually, please revisit it and do it again. I have solved that module twice, and only after I had gotten a grip over logic starters was I able to even start with some decent LRDS. Reading will also help you not only in your B school but also in knowing that how to put forward opinions. So when you are giving those written ability tests after clearing CAT or NMAT or whatever it is, so it will help you in presentation, in having a very good representation of your opinions, and that will only happen when you read a lot of current affairs and editorial. So about the test series, it is very easy to get demotivated after seeing your scores, but what I did was analyzing two things: the number of attempts and the number of questions that I could score correctly. So talking about the number of attempts first. So first, after the results are out, please go and analyze that why you could not attempt this particular question. Was that you didn't know the formula, you couldn't recall it? Refer to your notes and highlight that formula so that the second time similar type of question comes, you should be able to at least attempt it. And the second part about accuracy is again have those bifurcations of accuracy, like was that a silly mistake that I made, was this a calculation error, or was it that I applied the wrong formula or I applied the wrong concept. So breaking the whole mock into these small parts, right from the number of attempts to why this question went wrong, and first increasing your number of so simultaneously working on increasing your number of attempts and increasing the accuracy in those questions. So do not take a lot of load, even if like how I monitored my progress, even if I was able to answer 2 more questions correctly from my previous mock, take it as a progress. And this is per section, like you have 3 sections, so do this for every section, number of attempts and number of questions answered correctly. And also one more point that I'd like to add is initially I'll talk about my personal example. When I used to see my mock scores, there was so much of demotivation hitting me that I did not analyze at least 4 to 5 mocks that I gave initially. But then when there was constant stagnation in the progress and there was no improvement, and the preparation was kind of decelerated, then I realized that okay, let's change the strategy and at least look into the questions that you could not answer. If looking at your mistake hurts, then at least look at the questions that you could not answer and at least start from that point.